So, it's the new year.
Yeah.
We have our new guest this time, we're gonna do stuff,
Yeah, I'm sick, so we'll see how this goes.
We always see how it goes.
I mean,
it's weird.
Whatever goes. I mean, everybody's getting sick nowadays anyway. So.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
so if he sounds a little bit odd, don't judge him. He's just dying a little bit. So cue the intro. Hey guys, we're back. It's Two Latin Brothers Podcast, also known as T.L.B.P. I'm Victor.
And I'm Adrian.
And we have our first guest of the year, So if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hey guys, my name's Yassine. I'm excited to be here and just do a podcast with you guys.
That's actually really formal.
That was good.
There was a guy we had on who literally started saying like, I play sports. I'm like, it's not a Tinder profile. It's not a Tinder profile, and he found it so funny. But one of the things that was really interesting was the fact that when we were doing the podcast, he kept like dropping things. And this isn't like a shout out to you. I mean, it's great and all, but like it was really funny because he kept going back like he was like, he was like, I'm single. Like I just finished school. It was just like I'm like someone's looking for somebody. Yeah, it was stuff like that.
That's respectable.
Yeah, it was funny. It was really good. So we've known Yassine for, you want to say like 7-8 years? Maybe 9?
When this kid was like a child. When Victor was a child.
Let's say Victor was
like he was a toddler.
I was like
4?
I saw him
5.
Crawl.
4. Yeah, crawling.
Okay, so 3.
4.
No, 2. 2, because kids start crawling at 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's 14 years. We've known Yassine for 14 years.
He's just always been there. In my recollection.
For you, not for me. I think I met him actually even younger. Yeah. I think you were like 3 or 4 when I first met you. The first time. Like the very first time.
I just know our parents knew each other for a while.
Oh yeah, because so break it down. His mom's Mexican. Our mom is Mexican.
Small world.
This is Canada. There aren't that many I mean, there are, but back then there weren't a lot. So almost every Mexican knew every other Mexican. That's how small knit the community was at one given point in time. So they knew each other, and they had another friend too, who they used to hang out with. And then I don't know. I think like everyone went their own way for a bit. Yeah. And then like a few years later. And when everyone got like back reassembled, I guess they like pulled an Avengers and they're like, we're gonna reassemble, and then they're like, yo, hey, what's up? And they're like, we all have kids now, so like, what's up?
No, but it is very interesting, like I guess the small world interconnected,ness, because everyone you usually tend to see people, I don't know, like from the past you see people that are like you wouldn't remember seeing, or you'd say you'd see someone, they're your friend from the past, and then they know someone that's your friend now. Yeah. And it's just like even more interconnected. And they know this person is just like a
this chain. It's really freaky. Yeah. What I love seeing is like when someone, people don't do this anymore, but like before people did this, they'd be like, what's your Facebook? And you friend them. And then you see all your mutual friends.
I think that was like a thing of your time.
Like, yeah, my time. Yeah, so it was my time thing. But like that was crazy because with Facebook, it's like this crazy interconnected web of like, I know this person who I thought knew nobody I knew, but it turns out she's friends with like half of my friend list.
Yeah, there's like the people you also know.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh my God. I was like, okay. And it becomes really interesting. Even like now, I'll friend people who aren't from where we are, and they will have no people that I was friends with or I went to high school with. Yeah. I was like, how are you friends with? Like, how is this? And then they're like, and then this one time I had a conversation with someone about it, and they're like, oh, I met them at a party. I was like, okay, well, you interacted with them like once, so you instantly went, I should add them on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't know how the Facebook adding thing works.
That was the world I used to live in, and then now everyone wants your Instagram. Yeah. Everybody wants your Instagram. It's crazy.
It was like the follower ratio and stuff, and like people want a certain number of followers.
It's crazy. Yeah. I've never really cared for my followers, which has been rather interesting. And then somehow it just kind of kept growing and growing and growing. And then I started picking up my photography game, and then a bunch of like photographers started following me and DMing me. Yo, what camera are you using? I'm like, I'm just using my phone, bro. Just like in RAW, it's not that hard. Yeah. You just go manual and then you take the shot.
Instagram is very interesting. You have like a lot of people that want to get what is it, so-called like Instagram famous off of like what just posting
provocative pictures.
Yeah.
The thing is, now we live in a society. Excuse me. Where
I just love. Sorry, I just love that. I just love that we live in a society. It's just a big meme on it.
Yeah, no, but we live in a. I mean, not to just. I mean, I kind of.
You just memed yourself.
Yeah, but nowadays we live in a society where everyone is over sexualized. Everyone, males, females, whatever in the world you identify as. Everything's over sexualized to the point of like no return now. It's like I can be scrolling through Instagram and like in one scroll I can see a half naked woman and a half naked guy in one single scroll.
No. Yeah, I
and
agree.
It's like, but why? And then like you'll go back and you'll be like, wait, who is this person? You scroll back and you're like, oh, I went to high school with her. Or you're like, oh, we used to be close. I used to be close friends with that guy. And I'll be like, he's Jack now, but like that's not the point. Like, you know.
I'd say rather in like not on my like I guess what's it called, the home page for, I forget what it's called. Anyways, the explore page is filled with that. I feel like it's more filled with that than anything else. Like,
for sure.
It's just it's very provocative. I mean,
like there are times where I can't even open Instagram in public because like it's too much. I'm like, if I unfollow them, I'm gonna hear about this later. You know, it's like, you know what I mean?
For me, it's not a question of like I'm following. Like I take this very small consideration of the moments. Like, okay, is this person like I'm gonna be worried that I might see this at all. Like, not even in public. Just I don't want to see this.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's it.
I remember it on Facebook, because Facebook used to have a mute button where you can mute someone for like as long as you wanted. And a friend of mine, okay, so this, when I was like 3 years ago now, this guy I knew, he would, there was this girl, she'd always be posting on Facebook. Like, he would load Facebook and she would have like 7 consecutive posts in a row. Cause she's like, she blogged on Facebook, on her Facebook page. She even used it like Twitter, like it was crazy. But, I remember he's like, you got so annoyed of it. He was like, you know what? I'm muting her for a year. I don't want to know about it. And I was like, when he pulled out his phone, he's like, I just didn't look. And then I'm like, if only we could do that on Instagram.
Like, have you ever, like, I guess, asked yourself, like, what's really the point of, like, Instagram? Because I notice a lot, like, people now, associate Instagram with, like, mental health. Like, a problem with mental health.
Yeah, the numbers. They got rid of them.
Yeah, no, I've seen that they were doing something about that, and they're actually like showing you the time you spend on like Instagram, and like I know Apple now shows you the time you spend on your phone, which
Android phone,
surprisingly a lot of time.
Most Android phones do the same thing. They tell you.
I know, but Apple's usually slow on things, and they just integrate it now. But like they give me a weekly summary of how long. But like if you like really just ask yourself, what is like the, I guess, the purpose of Instagram? Like, it's such a, like, what is it?
It's the purpose of sharing. It's just to share. It's because, okay, so as social beings, we feel the need to share.
Yeah, no.
That's what this podcast is.
Yeah.
But in the sense of like, think of it like, Facebook blew up when it was popular because of that. I could talk to anyone whenever I want. Yeah. And I can share a photo that I think is cool or whatever instantaneously with all my friends. Because before you'd have to start an email chain, which is even before my time, which is you'd have to type out every person's email in the send box and then dump the photo in there and then hit send, right? Say you typed 4 emails wrong. Those 4 people never got the photo, right? Like that was like the thing. And they were crazy. Like, I remember actually even now in like the corporate world, email chains are like the worst. Oh my goodness. Like I get like, I'm at placement or co-op or whatever we call it. I have like, I don't even walk out of the building. I have like 6 emails already. And I'm like, what are these like? And then like I get emails at 2 a.m.
Are they like automatic emails?
No. Like someone's physically typing these up, like because I'm involved in like all these things. So like they have to keep me in the loop. So I'm like, email about this, email about that. Then I'm like, okay, I have to have a conversation with this person. They're like, oh, just email. I'm like, no, I'm gonna have an actual conversation because I need to explain like in further detail. Like it's not an email type thing. So, and a lot of my my student, she's like, you're really good with that. She's like, you respond to emails. Like I'm like, yeah, because I have it hooked up to my phone. I'm like, it's not like I can avoid. Like I'm on the bus home. I'm like, might as well start answering emails. You know, like it's nuts. But now we don't have that, right? So. But before, that's how people would talk, like over email. Like people used to have like chat conversations.
People do still have like conversation over email, like formal things. Like
Yeah, but like before it was very like even the informal fell under email.
Yeah, no.
And Facebook came and it changed everything.
Well, there's like MSN and whatever.
Yeah, right.
And
so
what's the other one? There's a super
ALO.
Yeah,
ALO.
Yeah,
Was the...
all of that.
Yeah,
I don't even remember.
Yeah, I don't think you were alive for that one actually.
No, I was MSN.
Yeah, I'm old. And then so Facebook came and then Instagram came. But then Snapchat came. Snapchat changed the game for literally everyone.
Like, what do you mean, like, change the game? Like,
because Snapchat introduced destroyable messages that weren't there forever.
Oh yeah, it would pop up and just disappear.
Gone, right? So Snapchat changed everything we thought we knew about chatting. Because I could show you something for 3 seconds and then you'll never see it again. Mm-hmm. And then it's gone.
It's like a real conversation.
I'm not too sure if that's like not recoverable. Is it recoverable? Do you know?
I don't.
You can save it
unless you screenshot or save it. But other than that,
no. Like
on their server. Oh no! Apparently, like I think it only stays on their like server for like a week or so.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So like if like say that something happens, like if you post like some type of crime and then like you're convicted of it within like a day or so, the government gets a warrant. They can see the photos and stuff, right? But it's on the government now to act
as fast as
humanly possible, and they're like, "Oh no, we got to backtrack a month," and it's like, "Oh, Snapchat goes, huh? Man, you know our policy. It's already gone. Like that's not my problem," type thing, right? So it's really really interesting. And then now it's like this, and Facebook tried to buy Snapchat. Snapchat said no.
Honestly, that's smart. I think I see on Instagram now. There's like this. As soon as it loads up, it says Facebook on the bottom.
Yeah,
so they bought them out.
They bought Instagram.
Yeah.
When did they do it? When did they do it?
Like in 2014 or 15.
Oh,
it's been a while now.
Yeah.
They also
it's just now that they're putting their name in front.
Yeah, they also own. It's because they also own WhatsApp.
Yeah, I know that.
So and that's also since like 2016 or something like that.
Right.
But it's because they're trying to integrate the 3 platforms. So say you're on Facebook but you don't have WhatsApp, I can message you from WhatsApp on Facebook.
Oh.
So like they're
trying to make it cross-platform.
They're trying to make it cross-platform, but then the world's like, I don't like that because WhatsApp is super secure and it's encrypted, right?
When you send a message, it says your
Facebook is wide open. Instagram is wide open. Like nothing's encrypted.
Yeah.
People don't know these things. They don't really genuinely care, but I care. And so like now I'm like to all my friends, yo guys, I'm like thinking of switching platforms. Like I might just go to like Telegram, which I'm sure you guys have no idea what that is.
I know what it is.
It's like the Google WhatsApp.
Yep.
But yeah, it's the reality. Instagram, actually, we beta tested it, the no like numbers on our photos. Mm-hmm. We were the first country to get that, the no likes on our photos, and a lot of people complained about it. Oh, it was crazy. People were like rioting on Twitter and Facebook. Everywhere.
There's
like
even
on
serious problems.
Even
with
like
people,
like people like literally find validation in those numbers.
Yeah.
Like they validate themselves based on those numbers.
They're just like, I'm loved.
It's like it's really unfortunate too because like you can see like the state in which they're in if that's like the only self.
That's the means to like justify their, I guess.
Yeah, like
how they feel.
Exactly right. Like that's like, and that's what I think. That's where Instagram made a smart play. They're like, okay, the future. We need to think about our
those
people.
companies really make it like I don't know. They really make it so that you get hooked onto the app. They make
everything's
it's because they want
to. Yeah, everything's designed
to the user interface.
Do you know how long? Well, okay, this one time I was scrolling through Instagram. I looked at the clock. It was 3 p.m. Kept scrolling through Instagram. I looked back at the clock. It's 6 p.m. Yeah, 3 solid hours just scrolling.
I can't do that.
But the thing is, like, I wasn't feeling that one. I was lying in bed.
Yeah, no.
But like, regardless, 3 hours of my day just went to like scrolling through Instagram, right? Yeah. Like that's insane. Like no sane person should be on Instagram that long.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, it is pretty bad. The other thing too is like everyone like what is it like the people I care about, like you know how they have like post notifications now, so notify you when someone posts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
it's like
the people I care about, I have them on to notify me. So I'll just like backlog all the notifications, and then when after like at the end of the day, I'll open Instagram, go through all their posts, and if I like it, I'll like it. And then that's it. I was on Instagram for 35 minutes. Just that. Like, just going through, like, all the people. Like, I'll do that at the end of the day or the middle of the day, but sometimes, like, I'm bored or whatever, and I'll open Instagram. But, like, now, and then, like, the other issue, too, is, like, stories. Yeah. Now you have stories on Instagram.
Yeah, it's like Snapchat.
Yeah, they're literally blatantly ripping off Snapchat. You know why? Because Snapchat can't afford to sue. Facebook is an army. Yeah. Quite literally. If they were a country, they would be the 3rd biggest country in the world, population-wise. Yeah. Be China, India, then Facebook. Or no, I think it's India, China, then Facebook. Because, you know, the Indians are per capita No, they're just producing at a rate of no return.
I remember watching
lost.
a TED talk about like Facebook and like GDP.
Yeah,
like it's a serious number.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Like I think also like the fact that there's like people make information so widely available.
Yeah.
That it's like it's scary. Honestly, like I can find out what high school you went to, when your birthday is, who you dated for the past 6 to 7 years. The 5-6 people you dated, like in the past and the present.
You're thinking
future.
too highly
No,
about me.
it's but there are people who like every relationship, and they don't delete anything. Like I can go through someone's Instagram page, and they're like, I can scroll the bottom and then start scrolling up. You're like, oh, there's her first boyfriend, and then she's like, and then she'd be like 2 months later, happy 2 months or whatever. Next post keeps scrolling up. A year goes by, they break up, and then all the photos get like morbidly dark. And you scroll up, and then, happy again because she got another boyfriend. A year goes by, they break up, you keep scrolling up, morbidly dark again, and it's like all depressing or like quotes of like inspiration. Oh, you got validate yourself. You don't need someone, like it's crazy. And then you keep scrolling, and like another year goes by, and then like, another boyfriend, and then this is the boyfriend that sticks around for 3 to 2 years. Christmas photos together, Thanksgiving photos together, birthday photos, anniversary photos, hanging out with the fam photos. You keep scrolling. Oh, and then they break up. And then, like, you keep scrolling. Oh, and then they got back together. Yeah. And you're like, someone should be writing this down. It's like a TV drama. It keeps going up. Right? Like, it's crazy. Like, that's all it took. And then they break up, and then things go separate ways. They're like, he was going one way, I was going one way. And then the comments, too. Oh, my goodness. The comments say so much.
Yeah. It basically tells you the story of what's going on.
I can find out why they broke up just by reading comments.
It's honestly, it's just...
You're you're reading their life.
Yeah, like, it's
but, like, I don't know. I wouldn't go out, like, just to look at someone's life. Like...
No, but, like, I know people who do this.
Even if I was bored, like, I just don't... No, I don't know what I do when I'm bored. Like, when I'm bored, I literally do nothing.
You just lay in bed, stare at the ceiling.
Look, Yassine, it's not that I personally do this. I know people who do this when they're bored. Yeah. Like, I genuinely know people. I've seen them do it in front of me. Yeah,
sure. You can search. I've done that before.
What is it? I had a friend. She added someone on Instagram, and then the guy left. And then she's like, "Let's find out who he is." And she opens up his profile, scrolls all the way to the bottom. The guy had like 340 something photos. She starts scrolling. She found out his birthday, when he broke up with his last girlfriend, where he lived, like where he like moved, how he got a new car.
It's like a police
his
checkup.
Interests, his favorite sports, like what video games he's in, like everything you could possibly know is there. Like anything you need to know about a person is just there because it's 300.
I don't even think I have a single photo. I've deleted since I think I started going on Instagram when I was 14, and I posted photos, but then I just deleted them afterwards.
I find it so interesting.
Like these are not reflective of me now, or these are just photos of that I just don't want up.
Yeah,
they don't represent me anymore.
Yeah, I use Instagram as an artsy thing. I'll take a photo.
Yeah, that's why I want to talk about the purpose. What is its purpose? You said sharing, and then we went on to this.
Yeah, well, everyone has its own
I think it's
the
it's
purpose
very multi-purpose.
It's open to interpretation.
No, there's people that do comedy skits on Instagram.
Because Vine died.
Vine died.
But then TikTok came, so then we're all going to TikTok.
Don't talk about TikTok. I don't want to hear about that.
Okay, so TikTok is an issue. It's a current growing issue.
Oh, really?
It's so addictive. I have it on my phone.
Literally half the
because I feel like it's funny. It's and you can do no. I'm not saying TikToks are funny. Most of them are really bad.
Yeah, some of them are cringe, but it's
cringe. There's some that are actually.
Some of them are really good. There's one I'll show you after this.
There's some with really dark humor. That are funny.
Oh yeah,
they're actually absolutely hilarious.
It's great. But there are things, or they'll show their animal or whatever, a little trick they taught their dog to do or something. You're like, oh, that's cute. You're like, oh, no, I wish I had a dog so I could teach him how to do that.
Right? You know what my thought is?
Yeah.
My thought is, I wish my dog could do that.
Well, I don't have a dog anymore, so it's not like...
I know.
But there are things like that I find super interesting. But it's more or less just sharing.
Yeah.
We're in this interconnected life now where we're connected.
Well, the purpose of it is to connect people as well as being able to share with those people. It's supposed to bring people together, but at the same time it's causing problems.
Yeah, man, I used to be in a friend group where we would sit next to each other. We would text each other. Think about that. You're sitting right next to each other, just the way you and I are.
But like
right
you could, it could be fun. Like I don't know.
now.
It could be like for like I could see how it would be like something I don't know, just like you're joking around.
No, we weren't joking around.
They were having a serious.
That was like a group
That's
chat.
pretty...
That was like okay, so
like being on your phone around friends.
Yeah,
like it's fine in certain circumstances. You know,
yeah.
when you're having I guess how can I say a useful conversation, a nice conversation, or something that's meaningful, you should put the phone down, right?
Yeah.
There's simple things, but yeah, there's people that are too glued onto their phone.
Oh, yeah,
see, the thing is,
like, I have a friend group where we actually got this from like this video that went viral about 2 years ago now, where the guy says, you know, me and my friends, we go out, we take one phone. So that's what we do. We coordinate who's taking the one phone. So, you know, whoever it is, and I'll tell like if I'm going out and it's gonna be late, and I'm like I tell my parents, yo, hey, so I'm going out with these people, call this number, right?
I feel like that's a bit of a I feel like that's just a little too extreme. Like
no, but
you
like
should be self-regulated enough.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Like,
but
obviously, I'm seeing it in an ideal standpoint, but like you know, like just keep the phone in the pocket.
But you should
Don't
see
take
it's really interesting because like there'll be 6 of us, and then there's that one guy in the corner on his phone. He's the only one who has a phone on him, right? And we go, hey, right, and then he puts his phone away, right? But
that's crazy,
right? Yeah, but like it's more or less like, but then that's how you make real friendships, right? Because you talk, you converse,
you
you're
interact.
Yeah, and we come up with like, you know, we was the one time we were just joking around, but we're like, how to take over the world in 27
I would
days.
say there's, I would say,
nailed it down.
I would say there's really good and really bad sides.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, to just any type of social media, because like I've seen some like phenomenal stories where people like connect and they actually meet up in person because of social media.
Yeah.
Like, right? It's very bizarre. Like there's some people that get disconnected by social media.
Yeah.
And they get like absorbed into it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's their life. Right? But there's a lot of good things that come with it. And I know we all like I guess kind of acknowledge that.
Yeah.
But like where do you think the disconnect like comes from?
The disconnect. I'm no psychologist, but
No, I mean
say it.
No.
Okay, so tell a joke, Victor. Go for it.
I have no joke.
Oh wait, you guys you already know you have an answer.
No, okay, no. When I say I'm not a psychologist, because I'm becoming a social worker, and Victor says, so basically you're a psychologist.
No, it's because he takes a bunch of psych classes.
Yes.
Technically, he could choose.
Yeah, but okay, look. So here's psychologists talk about problems and advise people on how to improve. You come to me, I tell you how to get it done.
So you're a thing.
This is what you gotta do.
It's the long ongoing joke.
Because, like,
he's just a thing.
It's not like I don't help you. Like I don't help people with their mental issues. I help them get through life. Like if.
But what if they're having a mental issue?
It's like if you need a job, come to me. You know. But it's like if you like, I'm like super depressed. All right, I'm gonna refer you to an actual doctor.
Yeah.
I can't.
But yet there's people that don't have a lot of money and go to social workers as if they were their therapist.
Yes,
so
I know.
That's why I say, basically.
Yes, I know. I have a friend who actually does that.
That just may be like that's just a mistake on the person's
well, like no, some people.
But like it sometimes does work because going to like a friend to talk about anything.
It's more like some people just need someone to listen without judgment.
Yeah.
Right. Like and. I mean, if that's what you need me for, I'm down to listen. Like
and wholehearted advice.
Yeah, and if you want my advice, I'll give it to you. But whether or not you follow it and things go the right way or not, that's on you, right? Like I can only do so much for a person, right? Like it's the same thing with what we were actually talking about, right? Like people get addicted to it. But not everybody gets addicted to it.
What do you mean by like addicted to
social media? People get addicted to social media. But not everybody does. I have a friend who he is like a straight up nerd. Only thing he has is Facebook, and he rarely goes on it. Like rarely goes on it. And the other thing too is like I'll message him, and if I message him on Facebook and I know he doesn't reply, I know he's not gonna reply on Facebook. So I just text him because he's not hooked to it. But you know what? He's part of my generation. He was primed for it, set for it. No Instagram, no Snapchat. I got him to get WhatsApp finally.
What do you mean he's part of your generation? Like
he's like my he's my generation. Like we grew up with this stuff, right? So like why wasn't he overexposed to it, right? It's just he never got hooked to it. Like he never fell into the trap of like using it to communicate because his friends lived across the street from him.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, no,
so
that's
like,
good. Yeah.
Right. So like there are those people out there who don't rely on social media whatsoever.
To have friends.
Well, to like even communicate or interact.
Exactly.
With people. I agree.
Because they don't need it. And I was like, that's that's a crazy concept. And I'm like, to just like the other thing too is like
not really. You interact with your family.
Oh, sure.
In the house.
I mean, but your family's different.
Your family's different.
You know, like I mean, like I'm sure there are conversations you have with your friends that you wouldn't have with your brother. So just so everybody knows, Yassine has a brother.
Yeah. Imaginary brother.
Yeah, he's got an imaginary brother. No, but and hopefully someday we'll get him to be on here too. But I think about that, right? Like there are conversations I will have with my friends I'll never have with him because he'll think I'm crazy and probably take me to like the mental hospital or something. But like, I mean, there are conversations that you have with people that are, you know, you'll never have with your family because they're just conversations that you know you can have with your friend, right? And your friends when they come over or something, they're never gonna bring up that conversation because they know it was between us. It's like this unspoken law, right? You know, and you know, I share some things maybe I shouldn't have, and he shared some things he probably shouldn't have. But that's how friendship works.
Yeah.
Right? Over social media, you can't do that. You can't build that. Like it's incredibly difficult to build that. Like
it's basically building a trust.
Yeah. The other thing too is I hate texting. If you want to talk to me, call me.
I'm terribly. I'm terrible at texting. Like, I make so many mistakes when I'm typing. Like it's ridiculous. My friends like always make fun of me. Yeah. They just save the message and they send it back to me because they can't even understand what I'm saying. But like.
It's like question.
You know, no, like it's actually gibberish sometimes. Like it's actually gibberish.
They're like, "Are you drunk right now?"
Yeah. No, I don't drink. By the way.
You wonder if no, but in my case, like I'd rather have a phone call. If you can call me,
I call. Yeah, I do that too. I always call and they get mad at me. I just like to use the I just called. You remember before getting here?
Before you called. Yeah, and I picked up and I almost died on the phone while you were talking because I was like I had this crazy cough when you called.
Yeah, you didn't sound too good, so I was just
I know it's
maybe I annoyed him.
I was trying to talk and not cough on the phone. It's really difficult. As soon as you hung up, I had a cough attack right here on the floor. But when my friends, all my friends know that I prefer a phone call. So like I have a friend. We'll text for a bit and then he'll just call because he knows.
Yeah,
and sometimes I'll put him on speaker and then Victor will walk in the room and it's like just like the most bizarre moment in the conversation. And he'll just break out laughing. And I'll be like, "You weren't supposed to hear that." Or like,
and I'm like, I know. Or I'll just break out to like a full-on song. I'll pull out like the guitar and be like, da, da, da.
And then the person on the other side of the line will start singing the song with them. What do you do?
I love when that happens. Like he's on a phone call and then I start playing a song and then the person he's talking with just starts singing along with me. I don't even know who this person is. And I'm just like, "You're my new best friend." And they're just like, "You're my new best friend." I'm like, "Agent, get out."
Right? So it's like, right? But it's because over a phone call, there's way more information.
You can hear the tone of voice, hear an expression.
Tone of voice is definitely important, and like context. Like I've definitely had a few texts where it's like I don't know what you're trying to say, or like the person gets mad at me because they think I'm saying it in some certain way.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it this way.
Yeah. We tried to solve that problem by incorporating emojis,
but emojis still.
That's actually a very very interesting thing. Like how the way someone interprets your message. Like really affects how they
if you read
how they view what you're saying.
Exactly. If you read a text message with the mindset that it's gonna be aggressive, everything you send to them is gonna sound aggressive.
It's just interesting how it gets to that point, like in someone's own mind, how you can see it like negatively.
For sure, yeah. This is why I prefer a phone call.
I just like phone call because I like to see how they're doing because you see in their like their face and their eyes.
Well, if it's like a video call,
I FaceTime. Sorry.
Yeah, like video call.
Video call. Whatever.
So I used to do actually this one time with a friend. She's from Australia. Shout out to you. I'm not gonna say her name. We had a Skype call once that was like 4 hours. Like literally, like I started talking to her. I was down here, and then I had to go to school. So I got ready. We kept talking. I was like I walked out of the house the whole way to this all the way to school. Like we were still talking, but like. The whole time, she was in her room. And I traveled across the city. I got to school, walked into the class, still on the call. Right? That's
a very nice thing.
No, but that's the insanity of how connected we are. It also was 4 a.m. for her at the time, which she probably shouldn't have been up that late. But it's like.
What was that thing? I remember hearing this. This was from a teacher back in high school, but I remembered it. It resonated with me. It's just crazy how much information we're consuming now.
Yeah.
It was in the 1800s, you'd be in a small little village or anything or town or whatever.
Yeah.
And the maximum information they'd receive the maximum information they would receive would be basically as much as like one page of a newspaper. And like they're 10 years of their life, which is like crazy.
And before that, in the 1700s, people lived in the town that they lived in, and like kings would send people to travel from town to town in order to gain information about the town. So like they chart the numbers and stuff, but this would happen once every 10 years.
Yeah, that's fair.
And they would track years based on like terrible events. So like in the year of the horrible storm, you know, like that's how they track things. You know, like it's been 347 days since the storm. That's how they would track things, right? Because they didn't have like a proper year system.
Yeah, that's very terrible.
In some places, and, like,
it's very terrible.
It's crazy. It's like crazy thing about it. And some people lived in villages and they died in those villages, and they never left the village. Yeah. They grew there. They had their children there. They died there.
Yeah,
their children grew there, lived there, died there.
There's also this other thing. It's like you'd live in like approximately like you'd only go around like maybe 10-kilometer radius. That's all you would live. That's your be like I guess like a farmer, right?
You live off the land. The land lives off you. You know, kind of goes that way.
Good old feudal society.
But like some people prefer that. Like there are people nowadays who like they look for the most like isolated spot on Earth, and they're like, that's where I'm gonna live. Build a house right there. And you go, why? And it's like, and I think it has to do with that, right? Some people still carry that gene in them, that innate, like, I need to be
with nature,
right? And I think it's a nice sentiment, really. Some people don't like nature because of the mosquitoes, the bugs, the mud, all of it.
Is that like a genetic thing, or?
Actually, it probably is. Like, it must be something that carried over from back then. It's like how some people are good under pressure and some aren't. You know, people who are good under pressure typically are descendants of people who were guards or soldiers, because they were always on alert. You know, like anything happens, good under pressure.
Like
right?
I know there's a lot of like, I guess, genetic predispositions that, you know, slightly determine who we are or how we act.
For sure,
very little, but like. Obviously, like phenotypes of physical features.
Yeah.
That's definitely...
For sure, yeah. Even the way you cross your arms, man.
Sorry?
Even the way you cross your arms.
Yeah, because there's different ways you can cross your arms.
Like if you go like this, or
they
if you
can't
go
see
like
that.
the other... like, you know, you cross your arms over your chest. If you put your right hand over or your left hand over, that is a genetic trait.
And there's some people that don't even do that. They grab their side of their waist and they put their other hand on top of their elbow.
Like that's genetically passed down too, which is ironic because like I was asking like my parents and stuff, and like the way they do it, it was like the way like all of us in the house do it. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. Even the way we pose when we stand is genetically passed down. And you know how we know this? Well, I have living proof of it. When I was about 4 years old, my father says that I leaned against the wall. The way I put my hand in, the way I folded my foot, he's like, I saw my father. I saw my father leaning against the wall. I saw my grandfather, and he goes, and I go, what? And he goes, yeah. He's like, from that moment, I'm like, he's my kid. And he's so down because like just because of the way I leaned against the wall. He's like, I saw my father. Like you put your hand, and the way you leaned against it, he's like, carbon copy of my father. It was like, it was scary, but like it's like little innate things like that transfer over is so interesting.
Yeah, my mom like usually like says I tend to like have I resemble my father in the way I do things. Like sometimes I just randomly dance like in the house. Like I don't know, just because I'm like happy. You know?
Just whatever.
You're just like that.
But yeah, no, like little subtle things.
Yeah, right. And it's really interesting. Like the other thing too is like actually a few years ago there was this theory that we can transfer over thoughts, like specific thoughts.
Sounds like some Assassin's Creed.
yeah, for sure. But like
it sounds like literal Assassin's
literally
Creed.
Assassin's Creed. No, but like certain certain pieces of information are transferred over, like fire. Like think about it. The primal instincts? Primal instinct things kick in. Like those are transferred over.
Well, like, we definitely don't know everything. Like, we don't remember.
I mean, okay, think about it. But like,
we know some things, yes, like dangerous, heat.
But think about it.
I feel like that's more of our senses just telling us, not memories.
But think about it like this, okay? You get thrown into the woods, you're stuck on this island. Are you gonna try to survive? Logically, yes.
I have no idea what I'm gonna do.
logically,
He's gonna look for some service.
No, logically, yes. And you know what? The first thing you're gonna do is go look for clean water.
Yeah.
Right? But why? Because you know you need water, right? And then you're going to be like, I need to find food.
Well, there's been many people that, just die from just living
because they ate something poisonous, right?
Or not even eat something. They can't even find resources.
Yeah, right. So, like, but odds are they tried, right? You know? The fact that, like, you
feel thirst, though.
Yeah.
That's, again, a sensitivity thing.
Right? But the other thing, too, is, like, as a human, we are living in an age where Like, we have progressed to the point now where we can withstand cold, heat, you name it. We got the AC, we got heaters, we got anything physically able to make our lives easier and more comfortable. We have done it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we all hold knowledge, right? Like an unnecessary amount of knowledge.
Yeah.
Unnecessary?
Unnecessary amount of knowledge, yeah. Like, do you think I genuinely need to know how many stars there are in our galaxy? Do you think that'll ever be...
Oh, no.
Well, that's...
Sorry.
Yeah.
Just like,
but do you genuinely think...
me,
Yeah,
or-
but do you ever think that information will ever be valid to me? Like, I'll ever actually physically need it to survive?
No.
Of
Again,
course
yeah,
not.
we do have a surplus of information like
Of
that.
course.
You'll never know everything in the world.
Oh, of course not. But we have like all this like information widely available to us, and like some of it is completely unnecessary.
That's actually like a great source of why people are unhappy. Like the
Too much information.
the too much information.
Yeah, too. It's like
Since this like is I guess the first episode of the new year, I just want to talk about like I guess just things to make people happy. And like I don't know, this year definitely people have been talking a lot about like mental health. Like it's been elaborated on and like talked about.
Yeah.
So I just want I don't know, I guess I'm linking it back.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. Like the state in which the other thing too is like mental health. It's like we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
There's always
It's hard to understand, right?
Well, yeah, but there's always
if you're not experiencing like problems, you're gonna think it's an imaginary concept, right?
I mean, technically, there's no actual way to prove that depression exists. If I scan it,
I don't know anything about it,
okay,
so I'm not even gonna get into talking.
Okay, so this actually happened in one of my psych classes. Where she's like, look at this brain. We're like, yeah. Now look at this brain. We're like, okay. And she put them next side by side like a slideshow. She goes, which one has depression? We go, what? She goes, yeah. Which one has depression? I'm like, miss, they look exactly the same. Would you believe me if I told you the one on the right has depression, the one on the left doesn't? We go, what? And she goes, there's no indicator in the brain to determine depression. It's just a feeling, right? So therefore, it's like, what? You know, like I can't even like scan your brain and be like, oh, this is what's wrong. That didn't happen. I just knocked over a glass. But yeah, it was like it was a big eye opener, right? Because like this is how a person says they feel, right? They're always down, always like they don't want to do anything, they don't want to get out of bed, they don't want to do anything. They're unmotivated, undriven, like all of it, right? And then you scan their brain and you find nothing's wrong with them. How do you, like as a doctor, how do you like?
Yeah, I mean,
how
there's
do you
limits,
treat that?
Right? Yeah.
There's limits too,
right?
Technology,
so it's, of course, and it's like so. Then it's like okay, clearly there's nothing wrong with them, so maybe it's a hormonal thing, and then that's the route we took, and that's where we found success. You know, like we have antidepressants, because like every human body is different. That's the problem. There are like 30 or 40 different variations of antidepressants, and to be honest, it only works on like 5% of people.
It's just like I guess how we I don't want to say it's just like, but you can draw a slight similarity between like again the water thing. You know, it's like you need a different like I guess amount of water.
Oh yeah. For context, we were like in church, and somebody gave us like a tip that not everybody needs to consume the same amount of water. Yeah. And then he gave us this formula where you grab the amount you weigh and divide it by 16, and it should tell you approximately how many cups of water a person should take in a day.
Yeah. For like your specific like body. Weight.
Yeah, body. I got 10.62, but
no, you got 10.2.
I got 10.62. He didn't hear me properly.
Okay.
But that's a lot of water.
Yeah.
Right? 10 cups a day. Like I'm drinking like maybe like 7. Like if I'm being honest,
I drink 10 cups of water.
No, like sometimes I forget like to
I can go a whole day without drinking water.
To drink water and like I'm like whoa, I need a big cup right now.
Yeah. I know. But like I think it's interesting how like everyone's different because of that. Like we're all also unique in our own distinctive way, right? Like no two people are the same. We're similar, but we're not the same.
For sure.
It's like how twins, you know, like some identical twins, like they're born identical, they look the same person. But personality-wise, night and day, right? There's always that one twin who's like the good twin, the smart twin, and then there's the other end of the coin. You know, the twin. It's like a rebel. He's like, I'm not gonna do anything.
The evil twin.
You can't tell me what to do. Like that happens a lot. And I used to work at this camp. There were like 5 sets of twins. There was always a good twin and a bad twin. I'm like, I wonder if that's like
a thing.
like an actual like study. Like, has anyone done this? Like, has anyone studied twins in this perspective? You know, and it's super interesting, of course. But I think it speaks in its own right that we're all different, and we're trying to find cookie cutouts to solve every problem. But it's not going to work the same way, right?
Yeah.
Like some methods work and some methods don't work for people. It's like how some medicines work really fast for people and some don't work that fast.
Yeah.
It's like how people who use Advil and people who use Tylenol.
Or there's like adverse, like terrible, like just absolutely terrible effects on people.
Yeah, no,
it just
like,
makes
it's like people worse. Like going back to the Tylenol Advil thing. It's like there are people who speak about Advil like it's the greatest drug ever. Advil saved my life. I had this horrible headache or migraine. Took a Tylenol, cured me. Then you try that Tylenol, doesn't work.
You try?
I tried Advil.
I don't like over the counter medicine.
Work.
I don't feel like it just doesn't work.
Oh man,
it makes me like the only thing it does is just makes me drowsy. That's it.
Meanwhile, all of us in the house suffer of chronic migraines. Oof. Tylenol is our best friend. No, we need that extra strength 0.5.
You even know the dosage?
Yo, man, it's crazy. Because our migraines are horrible. Actually, I've been fighting one off for like almost a month now because I've been going to bed so late.
Well, I've been going.
And I'm like, how long can I hold this off? Like, how long
before it hits me?
Yeah, before like I can feel it in the back of my head, like slowly growing into something, and then I'll go to sleep, it'll go away, and then I'll wake up, and then in the middle of the day, it'll start again.
Well, technically, the pain's in the front of your head.
Oh no, because everyone's different again.
Yeah.
Some people it starts at the front, some people start at the back. Mine starts at the back, and it trails this way.
Yeah, to the front.
That sounds so weird.
Exactly.
I've never had like a pain at the back of my head, like, and then just go.
Trails to the front.
Trails to the front of it.
It's weird. It's like a pulsing pain that just like it's like breathes, but it's like it's really bizarre. But then again, like everyone's different, right? So
I've only had.
I think that's what we've concluded this episode. Everybody's different.
Everybody's different, and make sure you take the time to recognize that. That's it.
Learn to self-love. That's what's caused most problems.
It's also like I feel like we're too consumed in the like. What you gotta do, right? Like, when was the last time you walked outside?
Today.
And just...
Yesterday.
Let me finish explaining what I'm trying to say. When was the last time you walked outside and just looked around? Like, just looked at the trees, the leaves, the snow on the ground. Like, just took it all in.
Okay, bad reference point. Today, I actually did that. Because when I was on my way here, there's a nice little, like, forest on the way. Yeah. I just looked at it. But it was, like, there was sleet outside. So and, like, I think tiny little, like... hail pebbles. Yeah. They were hitting my face, so I just stopped. Yeah. I didn't get time to enjoy. Yeah. But
like, see, that's called living in the moment. 95% of people don't do that for it. They can go years without doing it. Like, quite literally years without
going outside and
just taking it in. Like, and you have no idea how nice it feels when you come back to the real world. You're like, oh, I took my moment. I'm back. And you know what? If you do it, if you're like studying and you do that, and
I feel like it's really hard for people to do that because I remember like just during the semester or even like you don't really like reserve time for yourself. Like
you gotta self-care.
Yeah, I know. No, you don't really. You just want to get your like work done. You want to get your work done. You want to make sure it's quality you want it to be.
For sure, yeah. Like in my case, I have entered a state now where like I'm told to self-care. Like any moment someone has a chance to tell me I need to self-care, like, they'll take it, and it's crazy. Like there are things that you sounds stupid. I'm gonna admit it sounds stupid, but it actually works, and it's proven to work. People who don't like themselves, if you walk up to a mirror and tell yourself you love yourself, but you know what? 95% of people who start saying that to themselves, the first day can't even do it. The first day they can't do it. Wake up and go to a mirror and tell yourself, I love you. Can't do it. They cheat themselves like, yo, bro, I love, like, I'll do something. They're like, oh,
they won't say it directly.
Yeah, they like, I like you.
That's interesting.
There's a quote.
They cheat themselves. Like, it's like you don't even have the guts to say I loved yourself. Yeah. It's like it's really interesting, and like. And then they'll go on, and like the third day, by the 14th day, it's now a habit. And they're like, I love you, right? Like, and it's like...
I feel like there'd be like I don't know, I feel like self-love and self-care, like, you can do... Yeah. There's all, like, you can do so much of it. Yeah. But there's like, there has to always come just action from what you're doing, right?
Exactly,
always action.
Oh, yeah, no, there's a documentary.
Like, what I'm saying is, you have to act upon what you're saying.
You can't just say that. You have to want it.
Yeah, you can't just say that. You have to want it enough to just act on it, right?
For sure, yeah. You were gonna say?
Yeah, there was a quote that says, man, now I lost it. It was something on how you have to learn to start loving the person in the mirror because it's the person you've been with your entire life, And by teaching yourself how to love yourself is how you teach others to begin to love you, Yeah.
And it's crazy. We're out of time.
Yeah, we are. Wow, we are.
That felt really
short.
Yeah, really short.
Yeah,
yeah.
Short amount of time.
It's crazy. You know, there are some conversations we have. It's like, who was it? There was a friend of ours. She's like, no, it can't be over.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but
it can't be over.
but we only do this long. I'm sorry. And then she goes, let's keep going. I'm like, no, because that's way more editing for me.
See, that's why podcasts are normally like hour long.
No, man, there are podcasts that are 3 hours long.
Yeah, it's because they have so much to talk about. But then they're just like, is somebody actually gonna sit down and listen to all of this? But once you actually start listening to it, you get caught into it.
There's something about listening to other people talk.
Yeah.
That's soothing.
The thing I like about podcasts is like you're basically a part of the conversation, but not. Like you can hear other people's inputs. You're like
eavesdropping.
Yeah, you're eavesdropping basically.
Not eavesdropping, it's voluntary, right?
Yeah, but it's kind of like that,
people
right?
to hear.
Like the guy could be sitting behind you, right?
Even though it, may not be good information.
I mean,
valid. I'm not saying the podcast.
Don't worry. Like tomorrow we'll print out a retraction.
Yeah.
It'll be great. So wrap up.
Anyways, guys, this has been Two Latin Brothers Podcast. You guys can go to the description and find all our info down there. You know, send us messages, comments on Anchor. You know, you can leave your voice and maybe we'll even play it on the podcast. Go check out our Instagram. You know, we have some episodes that intertwine in the past with what we do. Yeah, if I don't know if there's anything you want to plug in or
do you want
to
plug yourself? Do you want to plug anything? Now's the chance.
Oh, we're talking about social media now. You want to
plug yourself?
Plug yourself.
No, I just want to say thank you guys for having me on the podcast. I appreciate it, and thank you for whoever is listening to the episode. And I hope you have a great day.
All right. We'll catch you on the next one.
Shout out to Egg Squad.
Shout out to Egg Squad.
I'm definitely gonna make you share this down.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye. Bye.